So, if you're a skilled quant trader, you've seen the ads, right? Pay a fee, pass some challenge, get funded. But what if that whole model is kind of backward? What if, instead of being the customer buying a lottery ticket, you could be the professional selling a seriously valuable skill? Yeah, that's what we're exploring today, the world of real institutional capital. And really, it all boils down to this one simple question. Are you a customer or are you a partner? Think about that for a second. Are you paying them for a chance to play, or are they paying you for your genuine, hard-earned talent? That one shift in perspective, it changes the entire game. Keep that question in your head, because we're going to keep coming back to it. All right, so here's the game plan. We'll start at that fork in the road and define the two models. Then we'll dive into the professional toolkit you'll absolutely need. After that, I'll give you a map of the real players in this space. And finally, we'll wrap it up by helping you figure out which path makes the most sense for you. Okay, let's get right into it. It's time to draw a massive line in the sand here. Because on one side, you've got those online challenges that are all over the internet. And on the other side, well, you have a professional ecosystem that honestly looks and feels a whole lot more like a legitimate hedge fund. So let's kick things off with a model I'm betting you already know, the one you see plastered all over YouTube and Instagram. It's the fee-based challenge model, where, let's be honest, you're the customer. And this right here, this is the absolute core of their business model. Look at that first bullet point, primary revenue. Where's the money coming from? It's coming from you, the evaluation fees. You're paying for a shot, usually on a demo account with super strict, almost impossible rules, all on standard retail platforms. The big takeaway here? The business isn't really about finding profitable traders. It's about selling the dream, selling challenges. Okay, now let's completely flip the script and look at the other path, the institutional allocation model. And listen, this isn't just a slightly different road, it's a totally different universe with a completely different philosophy. The goal here isn't to sell anything, it's to find something, to find real, verifiable, statistically sound trading talent. The best way to think about these firms is like professional asset managers. Their entire reason for existing is to hunt for alpha, that unique, profitable edge that's so hard to find. And they find it by basically crowdsourcing signals from a global talent pool or by allocating real money to traders with a proven, live track record. They're talent scouts, plain and simple, not exam sellers. And this quote, you have to let this sink in. The trader is viewed not as a customer, but as a vendor of intellectual property. This is everything. Your strategy, all that work you put in, it stops being a hobby and becomes a valuable piece of IP. You're not buying a dream anymore. You're selling your skill to a firm that genuinely needs it. You're a vendor, a partner. You're basically an independent portfolio manager. So what's the price of admission to this professional league? Well, it's not $100. The price of admission is your skill set, a very specific, very high-level skill set. And this is where we separate the real quants from the rest of the pack. First off, let's talk tech. This stuff is non-negotiable. You've got to be comfortable with programming, Python with pandas and NumPy for your research, or maybe even C++ for high-speed stuff. Your back tests, they have to be rock solid. I'm talking event-driven, fully accounting for slippage, commissions, all the real-world grit. And maybe the biggest hurdle, you have to have a data scientist brain. You need to deeply understand and avoid all the classic sins like overfitting and look-ahead bias. Trust me, they will find out if you don't. And here's another huge mental shift you need to make. You know that one massive home run trade you're so proud of? Yeah. Institutions, frankly, couldn't care less about it. They're obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with the quality and the consistency of your returns. It's not what you make, it's how you make it. And the first big hurdle, the first number they're going to look at is your Sharpe ratio. All that really measures is how much return you're generating for every unit of risk you take. And that number you see on the screen, 1.5, think of that as the bare minimum. Anything less, and you're probably not even going to get a callback. That's the professional benchmark. But it doesn't stop with the Sharpe. Oh no, they're going to dig way deeper. They'll look at your Sortino ratio, which is all about how you handle the bad volatility. They're going to ask about capacity. Sure, your strategy works with 10 grand, but does it work with 10 million? But the real deal breaker is correlation. Your strategy absolutely has to be uncorrelated with the S&P 500. Why? Because they already have that. They're paying you for something different, something unique. Okay, so let's say you've got the skills. You've done the work. Now, where do you actually go? Let's pull out the map and look at some of the real platforms in this space that are looking for exactly this kind of talent. Broadly speaking, these platforms fit into two main categories. On one hand, you have crowdsourced alpha. This is where you submit your code or your signals directly to them. On the other hand, you have track record allocators. With these guys, you just trade your own money in your own account, and if they like what they see, they'll allocate capital to copy you. Two totally different ways to get the job done. For the crowdsourcing model, Quant is probably the top dog. It's an incredible platform where you build your algorithms using their massive data sets. And here's the cool part. If your algos is good, you can list it on their Alpha Streams marketplace. Then actual real-life hedge funds can come along and license it from you. You get a recurring licensing fee. It's a fantastic way for coders to monetize their IP. Then you've got something totally different, like Numerai. This one is wild. They take all this financial data and they completely obfuscate it, turning it into a pure data science problem. Your job is to build a machine learning model to predict the data, and then you stake their cryptocurrency on your model's performance. It's perfect for a pure data scientist who's an ML genius but doesn't necessarily care about the specifics of financial markets. And on the track record side, Darwinix is a prime example. It's really straightforward. You connect your own live brokerage account and just trade. Darwinix analyzes everything you do and wraps your strategy up into an investable product they call a Darwin. Then other investors, and even Darwinix's own money, can invest in your Darwin and you get a 15% cut of the profits. Pretty cool, right? All right, we've covered a ton of ground. We've talked about the two big paths, the skills you've got to have, and the platforms that are looking for talent. So now let's bring it all home and figure out what your next step should be. I mean, just look at this table. This puts it all into black and white, doesn't it? On one side, the revenue comes from you. On the other, it's shared with you. The barrier to entry isn't a small fee. It's a high level of proven skill. The difference couldn't be clearer. One model is designed around a high failure rate. The other is designed to help you build an actual, sustainable career. So what do you do today? Your first step is actually really clear, depending on who you are. If you're a coder, your homework is to go to Quant Connect and start playing in their environment. If you're a pure data scientist, your next move is to download the Numerai dataset. And if you're a trader with your own capital and a live track record, then your first stop should be checking out a platform like Darwinix. And that brings us right back to where we started. Back to that fundamental question. If you've put in the thousands of hours to build a genuinely profitable, risk-managed trading strategy, you haven't just learned a hobby. You've created something incredibly valuable. You've created intellectual property. So the only question left to ask is, who are you going to sell it to?